Oh, we're not live yet. Oh, we are now. Hi, Kyle.
Refresh it and see if I can see our lovely faces on the screen. Oh, not yet. Oh, there we go. Yep, we're on time.
Hi, my pet.
Hi, everyone.
So has everybody been okay today then?
Sort of.
Sort of as in a good way or a bad way?
Well, as I was explaining to the lovely ladies, just as we were behind camera, my Theraphosne purea molted yesterday, and it molted between its edge of its enclosure and its cork bark down in a little slot. And it had a leg stuck, and I was like, okay, that's not going to be good. It's probably going to have a leg that goes, but it's now wandering around a little bit, but it's 3 of its legs are like Teletubby aerials on one side. So it's using its pedipalp and its back leg to move on its right side. It's only got the use of the very back and the pedipalp. So those 3 legs, I'm sort of hoping it drops them, but I don't know if it will drop them because they're just flopped over its back. So I don't want to pull them off. It's still too small. It's only about 2.5 to 3 centimeters big, this spider. I'd rather just leave them and see if they're not going to like get in its way. I'd rather leave them on its back.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to be started picking them off because trying to do the cornstarch stuff and things like that, and it will be too much of a nightmare. So I'll have to just leave it and hope. And it's really annoying because I've had this. This was my 5th ever tarantula, and this is the 7th molt in a year with it.
Yeah.
And this is the first one I've managed to retrieve and sex as a female. So it's like, everything, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, how's everyone else been? Hi, Wolfie.
Yeah, so you've been busy moving your snakes about, did you say, Mark?
Well, what it is, my snake was in a 3-foot viv, and I wanted a bigger viv for him, so I've managed to buy a 4x2x2 with a little ball python. So I've given the little ball python and my old viv to my son, and I've had the bigger viv to put my snake in. So we've been moving them around all day and shifting them.
The stuff out there without cables and not impacting that.
Yeah. Hey, Jackson.
He's just heading over to Pete's now to get a ball buffing because his bulb's gone.
I need to get a new thermostat.
Who we got in? Hi, Jackson. Hi, Kyle.
Yeah, we've got a few people
Hi,
turning up.
Sharon.
I'm adding people as moderators as we go. I just need a few on there because I couldn't. It's really easy to add moderators when they've got a channel because you can do it in YouTube Studio. But if you haven't got a channel, you have to do it while the live's running. But that's cool.
Yeah. Hi, Emma. Hi, Mark and Victoria. Hi, Wolfie. Hi, Emma. Hi, Amy.
We've got a few in, haven't we, tonight? This is good.
Yeah, hi, Missy Love. Hi, Ian.
We have.
Everyone.
What have we got tonight? Tonight we have a giveaway at some point, but I'm going to delay it a little bit because at the moment, let me just double check. I'm sitting just shy of 400 subs. So, yeah, I'm 5 short. So I thought, well, at least we can delay it a little while. And once I hit 400, then we can probably look at doing that giveaway. We've got a nice spider to give away. I've got some pictures that I'll chuck up on screen in a little while. It's been kindly donated. So that's all good. I've also need to sort out, I've got a couple of tickets for the Ants on a Rock Sheffield, the Great Ant Expo, which I can't go to. And the person that I had donated them to also now can't go. So I've got the tickets available again. So if anyone's around that area.
I'm good, Ian. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, time to span. But yes, so apart from Mark, everyone else in this chat, well, apart from Mark and the Carapuensis, everyone else in this chat has been keeping spiders for around a year. So it should make for an interesting little chat tonight about various things. And I think... Look at her.
Hi, Diana.
Straight away. I did promise her, but there we go. Right.
How you doing, Trond?
Hi, Trond. Yeah, I would like to ask. So, as a new keeper, and then it will be interesting to see what Mark thinks, because he's... How long have you kept spiders for, Mark?
Roughly 7 years.
Right, okay. So this question will be interesting. So to Lorna and Alice then, if you had 2 things after a year of keeping spiders that you could have known when you started and you could share with another keeper, what would they be? And why?
Do you want to go first, or?
You can go first if you want.
For me, how addicting it is, because I never thought that I'd have a bedroom full of spiders. I thought I'll just have one and that's it, and I'll be content, and now I've got loads. And the urticating hairs, because they are a pain in the backside, and I wish that I'd have known that they stay on molts and in the substrate after, before I found out the hard way.
Yeah, I think quite a few of us have probably come a cropper with that a little bit.
But yeah, I've come out in like little blisters and stuff now. If I go too close, like if I mess around with the substrate and stuff, so I have to wear gloves and that now.
You have quite a bad reaction to the hairs.
Not at first. At first, it'd take a while to come up, but now if I handled a molt now, I'd have blisters on my hand within the hour.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So I gloves.
Yeah, they do say though that over time you become less resilient to them for some species. Like that's why some like experienced keepers can't keep things like a kluggy, because the hairs are bad anyway. But even if they're quite resilient, over time they become sort of less immune, I suppose, to the hairs, which is a little bit.
I was holding gen molts and Nandu species, and they're meant to have really not nice hairs. So
yeah. It's weird though, because I don't seem to suffer too badly. I'll literally pick my apophysis molt out with my hand, and it's like they don't bother me at all. It's weird. I'm sure I'll get a come a cropper at some point, but it's interesting at the moment. What about you, Russell?
Probably not going all out on enclosures. Going to Tesco and buying a cheap tub will do.
Yeah, rather than sort of spending all the money on the
I think when I first started, I went all out like with the enclosures, and now I'm just like, do you know what, a little £2 tub will do.
Yep.
Because I never see half of them anyway.
I feel
right. I mean, I think it's a case of with me, I think it's a case of if I've got like, say for example, like a Versi, I'll put it probably in like a mantis den, just because it's not super expensive, but it's also not, it's clear, like. But when you've got something like I don't know, like a Striatopes, where it's just growing and growing and growing, you might as well just use the factory shop or pound shop type tubs anyway, until it sort of at least it's going to be a displayed sort of size, you know.
Hi, Jackie.
I'd agree with that though, because I found that at first I wanted real nice enclosures and that, and then you realise that it's just a hole that you look at and that you feed, and if you're lucky enough to see them out, then you can. But
I think all my brackies,
waking up at early hours in the morning just so I can see them all out.
Yeah,
because it's the only time I get to see them.
my brackies and my avics are in like acrylics, just because they're out all the time. Like, but most of my others are now just in plastic tubs.
Hi, Darren.
Plus, buying them at shows is cheaper. So what about you, Mark? Someone who's a bit longer in the tooth with regards to sort of keeping, like, with all that. What would you say your top 2 things are that you wish you'd known at the start? Because you've obviously seen a lot more ups and downs and different sort of experiences in the time anyway.
No, I think with me, when I first got into keeping, I wish I'd have listened more to advice that people were giving me. Because I was making far too many mistakes. People were trying to advise me and I wasn't listening.
Right.
Before
Yeah.
I knew it all.
Yeah.
But as I've gone on further and further and done research and whatnot, you know, it's been a better help. And I'm still not scared, even though I've been keeping them like 7 years, I'm still not scared to ask for advice off people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if I need it.
I remember the other week when I sort of mentioned
Yeah.
about the catch cup, putting the holes in the other end of it.
Mm.
On one of your videos, wasn't it? I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you ever get to a point, like we were saying the other day, I think if you ever get to a point where you feel that you do know it all, you've got to sort of question something's wrong there, because even the most experienced people can always learn something new, even from someone who's only been keeping 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think sort of listening to advice. I think the trouble is a lot of people take advice as almost criticism and they take it personally. When it's not intended that way in 99% of the cases, you know.
I mean, to me, I mean, you can never have enough advice.
Yeah.
You know, of different people. People do things different, you know, and you're always learning. And you always will be learning.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to be an expert and know everything because you're learning all the time.
You can keep probably like 3 or 4 of the same spider, and then you'll buy a 5th one and it'll be completely different. And it's like, well, I thought I knew what I was doing with these.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a learning thing. I think for me, if I was going to pick probably my top 2 things, it would be about stop panicking about keeping the room at like 25, 26 degrees, like everyone sort of says in the care sheets and stuff, and sort of realizing that they can survive even if the room dropped to 15 degrees. They're not all going to just keel over. They just sort of shut down almost. You know, they stop moving and stop doing all that sort of stuff. And I think, stop worrying about the temperatures and stop worrying about the moisture levels in them all so much. You know, as long as they've got the water and the humidity, you can have soil that looks pretty dry but still got quite a lot of moisture content in it. I think a lot of people, when they see a 80% humidity, it's almost like a swamp in the bottom half of the substrate. And I was a big sort of almost like it was my fault. I did that an awful lot. Over wet a lot of enclosures. I had to sort of redo a lot of substrate when I first started because I was just making things too wet.
Just looking at mine here, mine are sat at between, well, some of them 69 and 70%. This one is at 72. And the moisture isn't actually that lot. The majority of the enclosure is dry.
Yeah.
I've just overfilled it slightly and then I let it dry out completely, but it holds the humidity really well.
People panic when they see things like, I remember for about 10 months, I was like, I'm not looking at the Sturmies or any other ferrophores and things like this. And then I realised it's like, actually, I've got 2, they're fine. You haven't got to worry about it that much. But yeah, I think that's fair points. That's good.
And temperature-wise, mine sit on average around 20, and they all do spider stuff still. Yeah,
I think it's more if you're going to start keeping more of like scorpions and things. Need to go up a little bit, but it's also shelving height because you can get 2 or 3 degrees difference in a room with the height. You know.
Yeah, these are all at probably, I don't know, chest height or whatever. So I've got 10-foot ceilings. So if I wanted to, then I could probably get it up there. But
what about you, Lorna? What sort of temperatures do you keep your room at?
Probably about 22.
Yeah.
We've got a timer on our heater, so it goes our central heating. So it's on in the morning for probably about an hour, 2 hours, goes off, and it normally just rests at about 24 in the night. Though it comes off and it's sitting at about 20, 22.
You mean to tell me
Well,
you're the
mine seem to
person
be
in the
doing
UK
fine.
that can afford that? You're the one person they keep talking about in the UK that can afford central heating. Is that what you're telling me?
Where is that?
Utility have been great.
Yeah. I think I've just got a oil-filled rad in here now, and it sort of sits between some morning, like with the last couple of days where it's been really cold outside and the timing's been slightly out. It's
Hey,
gone down
Craig.
to 19 overnight, but during the day it sits about 22, 23. So I think that's about right. But yeah, Ian's yours is well, yeah, Ian's.
Oh, yeah.
Yours are all out in your shed, aren't they? So Ian's got a shed which is insulated and it looks absolutely superb. And he's got all his reptiles in there with it as well, I believe. So he's
Yeah, I thought about doing that as well, getting a shed and converting it. Because
Yep.
we've got no room in my house because we've moved to a smaller house.
Yep.
We've got racks. We've got beardies and pythons and scorpions and all that. And I kind of want them all in one room.
Yep.
But I physically do not have the room for all of them. So I wanted to convert it, but I was really worried about heating it and how that was going to work. So if anybody wants to message me and give me ideas, then please do.
I'll tell you, I'd speak to Ian. Ian's got he's got some good stuff about the insulation, the way he's got his heat cables going through it. He's also got he showed me some good stuff about, he did some insulation on the roof, like temperatures showing how much heat was reflected back and things like that. So he's definitely done his research into it, and he's a person I would thoroughly recommend you go and talk to if you want to sort of figure out how to do a shed. But yeah, like Ian says, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Well, Pete's got a 20 by 12 shed.
Yep.
And he's had all that insulated, got mains electric in there. But, I mean, he's narrowed right down now because of his ill health. I mean, at one point he had 480 spiders in there. You know, centipedes, scorpions, and then his reptiles as well. So, you know, he's narrowed down a hell of a lot.
Sharon, pick up the milk snake.
No, because of the snow. She did message me to say that she'd had snow pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's there when she wants it. It's safe enough and doing well. Soon as she's ready to collect it, I'll nip over Pete's and sort it out for her.
Yeah, that's an interesting point as well, because obviously from the earth, it does feel cold. If you sit there with a tiled floor in the morning, or even a non-carpeted floor in the mornings, it can get quite cold. You do get the cold air coming up. This is going to be interesting, though. Video showing everything he did to heat it. I'm currently working on it at the moment. That'll be good. Look forward to that, Ian. That'll be nice. But yeah, I would say actually, Paul Ants Rambling. If you don't follow Paul, he's got a good channel. He's made a sort of like an incubation unit inside his shed with all his heaters and stuff. But he's got a lot of ants in there as well, so he has to sort of keep that going. So yeah, definitely a wealth of knowledge out there. You just got to figure out who it is you need to talk to and stuff. Were you, Mark, scared of spiders at all before you started keeping in any way, shape, or form, or did you just decide you liked them? Have you always liked them, or what?
I liked them from when I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, the first mistake I made was I had a curly hair.
Right, okay.
And it was my very first spider. I was about 12. I had, I don't know how many crickets to put in, so I put the full box in. And I got up in the morning, the crickets were eating the spider.
Ouch.
So I learned by that mistake. And then I started reading up. Then I got a sturmy.
Right.
Right, and then I kept them too. And then when that sturmy passed away, I didn't have any more until like 7 years ago.
Oh, right, okay. And then it just went crazy with the collection.
Oh, that's all right, Sharon, no problem. I'll be there. But yeah, and like Sandra says, if you come home with more than one, I'm leaving, and she's still here now. I went home with two.
Is that fair enough? What about you, Alice? You were scared of them, weren't you?
Yeah, I was shit scared. Sorry. I was very scared of spiders. And whether it was a tiny thing, it wasn't the spider itself, it was the fact that because they're silent and they just appear. Right. So you can glance 1 minute and they're just bam, and it's like, so it's not the spider itself, it's the fact that because the quiet, the so, what's the word? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're just, so that was sort of what scared me. So I decided to buy one to sort of expose myself. But it's like I was saying to you a while ago, you don't get people that are petrified of things that other animals. Oh, I don't like dogs, let's buy a dog. No one does it. Oh, I don't like snakes, let's buy a reti.
No, I think
I don't like spiders, let's buy a tarantula, some of the biggest in the world, because we're just weird like that.
They do like a dog therapy thing where people with phobias of dogs or fears of dogs
thank you, Russell.
go and actually sort of spend time at almost like a dog nursery type setup, and they bring dogs in for the people to start to interact with to try and get them over the fear. But I think you're right. People don't like, if you've got a fear of snakes, you don't just go and buy a snake. That's for sure. It's
especially not the biggest ones in the world.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. What about you, Laura? Were you arachnophobic before you got your first jumping spider?
Yeah, I'd say so. When it all stemmed from when I was younger. I used to live with my papa and gran when I was younger, and my papa was watching Arachnophobia. Is that what it's called? That film? And it absolutely. The film wasn't too bad. It was when I went to bed and there's 2 massive spiders on one of my teddies on my bed, and it scared the crap out of me. So ever since then, I was really scared. I just didn't really know much about them. I wasn't really intrigued by them, if I'm honest. Yep. It wasn't until I was on TikTok and I kept seeing this girl popping up with these jumping spiders, and I was just like, do you know what? These are, I actually really quite like these, and I'm intrigued by these, and I kind of want to learn a little bit about what they're about. And then I did, and I ordered from the spider shop. I got 2 jumping spiders, and absolutely fell in love with them. And I treated Nora as like my 3rd baby. I was absolutely obsessed with her. And then I got my Carabiner versicolor, and it kind of just stemmed from there. And I just loved everything about them, which was so bizarre. My husband was just like, "Who are you?" Because I've gone from being, "Ryan, please get this spider out of the house," to having racks full of spiders. And I absolutely love them, and I literally would not change it for the world. And I kick myself every day that I wasn't really into them sooner and wanted to learn about them. So
more amusingly then, what does Ryan say about it all? Like going from one extreme to the other. But does he bring up the point? Does he bring up the point, obviously, that you've completely gone like 180 degrees with your...
Yeah, all the time. Like, so obviously I won the competition from Bear, didn't I? From Aaron. And I screamed, and Ryan was sat next to me. He was like, what are you doing? What are you on about? Why are you screaming? I was like, I've just won some slings. I've never won anything in my life. And he was like, oh my God, more spiders. Where are you going to put them?
Yeah, me and Steve.
So yeah, he thinks I've lost it.
Yeah, I think it's weird because I wouldn't say scared of spiders, but I had no love for them whatsoever. And I see ones in the house. I mean, I remember being quite cruel to the false widows in my conservatory, because it's like, I want these things gone. And you read all the media and this and the other, and you believe the hype about they're these massive axe wielding murderers that are going to like burn you to death and all this and the other. And it's like, whatever. But I literally just let Connor. It was Connor. Connor sort of like was like, "Oh, please, can we have one? Can we have one?" So I ended up phoning Sam at Spider Shop and was talking to him for probably like 2 or 3 hours about these GBBs. I'm sure he wanted to get back to work by the end of the conversation, to be fair. But I ended up ordering the GBB for him, and that was the start of that. Yeah, it's strange. Still don't. Obviously, I don't handle my spiders. There's no need to unless it happens and they come out and I have to stop them. But the fear of anything has gone away. It's like the false widows. If I see one struggling, I'll go and feed it a little bit. And yeah, anything outside in the garage. I mean, I've built my gym in the garage and I've got like spiders all over everything in the garage, and I'll just train amongst them. It's like very, very strange. Whereas I used to be like, I'd lift my feet off the floor if one was in the lounge floor. I'd be like, "Kath, you can get that. I ain't touching it." But yeah, it's a strange turnaround, that's for sure. Strange turnaround. Well, what we got going on in the chats? What about anyone else? Who else has had a change around with their spiders, or does anyone want to ask anything? What we got? Craig jumped in at the deep end. You know what? That doesn't surprise me with him, though, at all. That does not surprise me with him. What? How big was it, Craig? Was it a sling? Was it subadole? What was it? And then we got Ian. First one was a tea blondie. Oh, film fish. So that's ouch. Who else? There we go. See, this one's a good one. See, I would say a lot of people say the Nandus are sort of like probably not a good ideal first one because they're a little bit more skittish. But I think if you give them a right setup, they're absolutely amazing tarantulas.
One of my favourites. And
Yeah,
I think it was my third tarantula that I got.
Yeah, mine was quite high up there it was in the first 10 that I got, I'd say.
Yeah, I do, Harry.
Yeah, I don't. I've got a pull pranks and a pull crow.
Mark's got one as well, I know that.
I've got 3.
What we got? My first tarantula died. I didn't keep any inverts close to 10 years, but my daughter was begging for one 2 years ago. So I've got a Bihomori, which is now my channel icon. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Scott. Yeah, I think...
Hi, Scott. Hi, Joe.
So when you got your spiders, ladies, did you opt for, when you went to tarantulas more than anything else, did you opt for slings? And if so, why? Or did you sort of like think to yourself, I'm going to get something a little bit bigger? What did you do? What was your thought process? I
think slings. I think because the idea of having a bigger tarantula was terrifying, because obviously I'd got these tiny little jumping spiders. But then when I got the slings, they were just, you know, when you're researching and you're learning about them, they're so fragile. So I ended up getting like juveniles, and I don't think I'd ever go back to getting slings again, because I kick myself if, you know, I mean, I've had a few pass away, never know why they do, it just happens. And I kick myself every single time. And I just can't do it. You know, I'd rather them be a little bit grown on, and, you know, I wouldn't get slings.
Yeah, I think it's
if I have a choice,
isn't it? Because you get that. I think if you're that sort of person who gets really, really emotionally connected with them, then it becomes a lot harder to deal with those types of things. So I think the juvies are probably best. But what about you, Alice?
My first one was actually a sling. I bought it from the local pet shop, and it was maybe about 2 centimeters. That was still tiny, you know. And that was all right. And then after that, I went to the spider shop and bought a box of, is it My First Slings?
Okay.
And
tiny?
They all passed. Yeah, there was absolutely tiny, but they all passed away because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And after that, I bought a juvenile, which was my Nandu Colorado Velocus. But after that, you know, it's just mystery boxes and stuff. And now I try and opt for slings that are slightly bigger, so about 2 centimeters. Because I haven't had an issue
raising a good mystery box.
So not the ones that are absolutely tiny. I've got one here that.
Me and Lorna are actually planning. It's been on the cards for a long time. We're meant to be doing a slight variation on a mystery box where I'm buying Lorna a mystery box, but I'm going to specify a tarantula I want included in it. And she's going to do the same for me. So we won't know. And then we're going to we're going to do a video live and sort of have a live reaction video, like duet type thing. But we've been sort of trying to sort out the logistics of it for probably about 6 months.
so long. It's either been Christmas or moving house or new job or uni or work. It's just been a bit hectic, hasn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. It has been a little bit.
We will get around to doing it eventually.
I'm sure we will. What was this one? What did I miss there? Found that fear of spiders is learned behaviour. What do others think? Yeah, some are scared and loves them and now so cuddly. Yeah, I think it is possibly. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think it depends. My parents have never been scared of spiders, and they've been keepers for a long, long time. And they're not terrified, but I was. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's strange. I don't think mine was because my mum is petrified of spiders. She comes up here and has a look at these, but I don't know whether it was her or what. So maybe I've got a little bit of that. I'm not sure. I think with me for the slings, it's like if I'm looking at slings, I will go to a certain seller, because I know full well that their slings are normally, when they say they're 2 centimeters, they're probably 4. Whereas other people I'll tend to avoid because when they say they're 2, they're probably half. So I think it depends on where you go for the slings and what you're looking for. But I think if it's something that I know can be a little bit more fragile, I'll definitely opt for larger ones if the budget fits, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a less threatening. Yeah, that's another reason I got a smaller one because I figured that I'd grow with it. You know, so. But
thing is though, Emma, do you find though that slings are obviously less threatening, and I think we all sort of feel that way, or all probably did when we first started, that they're going to be smaller, they're not going to be as dangerous, but they're a lot faster.
They're super skittish.
Yeah, they're a lot faster, and they do move when they want to, and trying to catch them, and they've got their own problems, haven't they?
Yeah.
You're not buying any in 2023. Remember that. You said that. You've seen it here on scene. He's talking about mystery boxes already, see? But yeah. All our behaviour is learned. It takes some small. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it can also. The therapists will always try and get something, the route back to some cause at some point in your life, won't they?
I said no more slings, lol. You could get slings in your mystery box.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Mark? What do you normally opt for if you can? Bigger the better, or?
I've had a lot of slings, lost a lot of slings. So I try to give for grown-ons now or juvies.
Yeah. Yeah.
For saying that, I did buy adults, female Antinius. I don't normally buy adults, but I'm well chuffed with that. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it depends on the species as well, doesn't it? If you know like how long they're going. I mean, I personally wouldn't go, but unless I was using it for a breeding thing, I wouldn't personally go and buy an adult GBB, for example, because the their longevity, as far as they're one of the shorter lived ones, aren't they? And so I probably wouldn't go down that route with a GBB, but something like a Grammostola, it's like, sub-adult, adult, you're going to have it for a long, long time, potentially, as long as you look after it and it's healthy. I think there is lots for that.
Lewis and Ellie asked me about doing another breeding project.
Right, okay.
With the Antinius, because they've just got a male.
Right, okay.
I'm in an hour in whether to and I did do with Mashallah. She did have my male. She has got an egg sac with that now.
Yeah, that was. She saw it the other week, didn't she, or the other day? Yeah,
that was good news.
Fingers crossed that the molts are not going to happen soon or anything like that. It's just you got fingers crossed. For that, yeah. A lot of hard work, sort of getting egg sacs at the right time, isn't it? Making sure that they're just molted, making sure they're fed up, making sure the conditions are right. It's not it's a whole different part of the hobby. You've got all the looking after spiders, and then when you sort of have all the different genuses and things, and then all of a sudden you've got to learn all the different ways, the setups and the temperatures and what likes what type of environment, light, dark, whatever. And then all of a sudden you look at breeding, and all of a sudden you've got to just like learn a whole new volume of stuff again. It's yeah, it makes it sort of like a bit of a minefield. Things are cheaper and give you a way of getting expensive spiders. Yes, there is a lot to be said for that as well, because if you're going to buy I don't know, like a Theraphosa, maybe, I don't know, a Blondie, and you buy a sub-adult, you're looking at an awful lot of money. But if you're looking at slings, you can get it with probably get 2 or 3, at least. Then got a good chance of getting a female out of that. I tend to agree with that. So how many jumping spiders you still got, Lorna?
Sorry, what did you say?
Glad to see you.
Sorry,
I said, how many jumping spiders have you got now at the moment?
Pardon?
Jumping spiders. How many have you got?
Oh, I've got 3.
Oh, right, okay.
I've got 3 at the moment, and I'm itching for some more. So they're only babies.
All right, okay. Our one's still going. I've only got the one.
The Chalcodis is doing excellent.
Alice, have you got any jumping spiders?
No, they are on my list, sir. They are cute, aren't they? I just like the eyes.
Oh, they're amazing.
Little eyes. No, my brother's got a couple.
They're so curious as well. So curious.
I find it really intriguing though, Lorna, like, because I mean I've known you for like just over about a year, maybe a bit longer, maybe about that. And
yeah,
I know what you're like when you lose your spiders, right? And so with the teas that are going to live for years and years, I sort of see why you sort of opt that way, and you sort of like, you know, you get attached to them. But with the jumping spiders, their lifespan's so short.
I know.
And you still get really attached to them. It's like, how do you sort of?
I do.
How do you sort of overcome that? Because it's almost like you're sort of putting yourself into that position.
Yeah,
you're gonna suffer a loss sooner.
I think I just enjoy that time. That, and I know I'm going to be really. I mean, Nora. Oh my god, I was a mess with Nora.
Yeah.
She's still in my freezer because I'm still trying to work out what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy that little time that I do have with them. Like, I'm always with them. Every opportunity that I can get, I'll put some like really fun in the enclosure and watch them like explore it. And I don't know, I'm just a sucker for tears, really, I guess.
Yeah, I think the trouble is, it's like when you like something a lot, it's sort of you put the negative side to the back of your mind, don't you? You're not buying them knowing that they're going to go soon. You're buying them to look after them. And
it's just the character. I love the characters because, I mean, my male was completely different to Nora, and I just found it amazing how different they were. Male was quite shy, didn't really want to come out, although he did like to escape a lot. But Nora, if I just opened her enclosure, she would literally just wander out.
Yeah, our male.
But she'd stay in front. She'd never go anywhere else.
I do need to get a female, or 1 or 2 anyway, at least, because our male he's so reclusive, and it's a shame because it'd be nice to have more of an interaction with him. But we've set up his enclosure. And let him be, you know. I think
I think that's just a male thing, though, to be honest, because the female that I've got now, she's only a baby and she's always coming out. If I open it, she'll jump onto my hand, but the male will always shy away. Yep.
I do think that the jumping spiders, I mean, I've seen over the last 12 months that there seems to be an awful lot more sellers, breeders appearing on Facebook, like in the UK as well, like and the different sort of regions and the different species that are coming up on the market seem to be growing and growing and growing as well. I know there's a problem with some sort of hybridization with things because people see the colors and sort of think, oh, I'm gonna bring the two together. But I do think there's also a space thing because people want more than one. You're never going to have one spider, are you? So it's as you've both probably found out in the last 12 months anyway. But it's a case of they don't take up much space. And once you've got the largest setup they're going to be in, it still is a small juvie enclosure for a tea at least. So you can get a lot more in your collection, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You don't keep jumpers, do you, Mark?
No.
Any reason for that? Or
I've never had one, but I probably would get one.
my camera
Yeah, I think
didn't it?
It's something different.
I'll be back. Technical issues.
yeah, I was just thinking I wouldn't mind a jumper. They're a bit more interactive, aren't they? You can be a bit more hands-on with them. Whereas my tarantula just want to eat me.
It's I just enjoy setting up the enclosures, to be honest with them. Like if I'm with the jumping spiders, you can make them really interesting, like playgrounds.
Yeah. Like, have you seen Nora's, haven't you? Well,
Yeah,
Nora's old enclosure. It's just amazing. Lucy designed it for me because I wanted the blossom tree and stuff like that, like kind of like a Japanese feel, and it's just incredible. And I literally just want racks and racks full of jumping spiders with these custom made enclosures because it's just amazing.
They are really, really nice. Right, sorry, I've just got to set this back up again. Am I missing anything in the chat? Probably am, aren't I?
I will get one eventually, Wolf.
It's on my list for the show. My list's getting longer and longer and longer. But
I wish there was a show close enough for me. It's so frustrating.
yeah, well, we're off to Barnsley one. It's a couple of hours away from us, so that's like the only one, and then we'll travel for BTS, I think.
Yeah.
See, people talk. Oh, what is that going on? Why have I got this noise? I know why. Shut up. Yeah, I think with me, it's like I tend to ignore the distances on the shows. Taunton being my longest journey one, I think. I drove down there last year. Do you remember we had the petrol crisis literally that weekend? People, the petrol stations were saying we've got no fuel, and it was at the end of February. And I was like, if I run out, I don't care. So I drove to Taunton. I think it's. I think the journey down there, I think, was about 4 hours.
Yeah, I had an Aussie at that, and it'll be like a 650 mile round trip for me, and it's a bit expensive.
It's hard to justify it, but for me, I drove down to Taunton, and I'll tell you, it was the first time I'd spoken to Scott. It was the first time I spoke to Bethany, first time I spoke to Luke, first time I met the guys at Invert Mansions, and it was like, and also made friends with the lady who runs Spooder was chatting to her for ages, and the experience down at Taunton was just brilliant. So it's sort of like I could justify it because the only thing I really spent was the fuel getting down there and back. The actual show was really cheap. Traveling 3 or 4 hours for a show for me is like it's a day out. You know, if I lived an hour from Alton Towers, I'd go to Alton Towers, and Alton Towers ticket would cost me whatever it costs to get in. So I just look at it that way, really. But yeah, field travel's all over the place, doesn't it?
I'm hoping to get to more of them next year.
Yeah.
We've got a wedding this year in September, so we're saving for that instead of loads of spiders, which is a bit of a shame, but hey ho, needs must.
Well, I won't be buying anything in the first show, that's for sure, very much, because I've got or Taunton. I haven't got the room, and I'm sort of funded out at the moment because I've got a prize to give to someone at Taunton. He knows who he is. Look, he's ignoring me. Oh, there he is, smiling away. And at Seas, I've also got something to give away at Seas. As long as people remember, I'm not going to repeat what it is, but yeah. But yeah, some of the shows are good. The shows are well worth it, even just for the day out and meeting people. The buying of spiders comes second, and I think what happened with me, the first show we went to and the second show I went to, I was so like overwhelmed by what was there. It is just kid in a sweet shop syndrome. You want a bit of everything, and you end up coming away. You see all these spiders, all the species, and you're like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Even if it's just the same thing but a different colour, it go crazy. And I think now I've got to where I am with the spiders I've got. It's a case of I can go there, I can enjoy the company of people and just have a chat with people who are interested in the same stuff and actually just look at the spiders without feeling that I've got to buy everything on every table. I still probably will buy everything on every table, but I feel the need to buy everything on every table. That's the point.
This is what I'm worried about. It takes me 2 days to choose what I want on websites, let alone if I've got it in front of me. So indecisive.
Alice, you aren't alone. I'm pretty sure most people sit with 6 or 7 tabs open, looking at all the sites every single day, and the stock doesn't change.
Can I get all the spiders that I want, so I only have to pay one lot of shipping? And
you'll love it, Tom. You'll love it. Your first show, you'll absolutely love it. You will. The shows are brilliant. And if you do see any of the people who you see on YouTube at all at the shows, always go and have a chat with them. I remember that Taunton was the first show where I spoke to Scott or anyone that I'd seen online, but I had seen Scott at Seas. I saw Robbie at Seas. I saw a few other people at Seas, like Jaden and everyone. And I should have just gone and said hello. It's made a massive difference to the hobby having the people who are like going and chatting to people. It's much more interesting. So yeah, don't be scared to come and talk to people.
And ramblings.
But I think that's one of the reasons why most people have stickers, because everyone's got an excuse to come up and say, "Can I have a sticker?"
I'm debating on whether I should make some.
Your logo's good. You should.
I'll have a nosy, get on Vistaprint or whatever.
I'll send you the link of the place. I got mine from Mark Gets his as well. It's Smash Signs.
I'll have to have a nosy. Yeah. Take some to Barnsley with me and see what happens.
You've got a channel, Lorna, but you don't post anything on it, haven't you, on YouTube?
I've never got time. I'm either working or I'm studying or in exams.
So I felt really bad, actually.
Well, come May, once I've finished, I'm going to be a bit more active than I have been, I hope.
I will say that I felt really bad because I knew, obviously, I'm on your Instagram, liking your stuff on there a lot, and I didn't even realise you had 3 videos up on YouTube until today when I spotted it there. So I liked all those very quickly.
Wow.
I felt very ashamed. I think
that deserves a free sticker.
Oh, I'm sure I could still have some stickers. Don't worry about that. Oh, I see. So there we go. See, it's like, but yeah, people should just come up and say hello. I do hope people do come up and say hello to me at Seas when I'm down there. I know some people aren't going, but it'll be nice to meet the people and stuff like that. That sort of chat on the internet a lot. And yes, well, you should definitely do BTS. You should go to BTS because you'll enjoy the day regardless. It's a very good day out, and you're not just going to be looking at spiders there. You'll have ants there. You'll have all sorts. It's a very, very good day out. You'd agree, Mark, wouldn't you?
Brilliant day out.
Was you first in the queue at BTS?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jeremy was like about 2 or 3 behind you, and I was probably about 5 or 6 behind that.
Yeah.
That was a early start.
Me and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Nathan.
Have you spoke to Al recently?
Spoke to him last week.
Right, okay.
Because I was asking him about if he's still going to Taunton, beans he was thinking of downsizing.
Yeah.
But he said he still wants to go just to meet up with people and that. So
yeah. I know
I'll be picking him up. So
I know he's been putting a few more videos out the last couple of weeks that I've been sort of watching and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope things work out for the guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I've always got on well with Alan.
And everyone else, I hope, Kathy. Right, I am sort of furiously looking at this at the moment. My channel at the moment, I did say at the start of the stream that if we hit 400, we would do the giveaway there and then, right? And I'm sitting on 398 at the moment, so we're still not doing that yet. But what I will say is...
I just subbed on my son's account.
I'm going to go on to
just to get the giveaway going. What are you doing? Anyway.
Tarantula, hello, hi.
Oh, hello. From Poland. Hello, dude.
Oh, what was sign in?
If you're not subscribed to this channel, Tarantula, go and subscribe to him. I think he's got probably 11 or 12 videos that he's done. But he's a Polish keeper and his content is really good. It's really nicely done. Straightforward, to the point, and it's good. It's really nicely produced. So go and give him a follow. Go and give him some subscribe. Yeah, scorpions. The thing is, like we were saying about the jumping spiders, and Tim was saying last night, the scorpions and the jumping spiders, the thing is with them is they don't require the space. So you can get 3, 4 for what you would have an adult tarantula in. So it's like sometimes if you get the right species, it's always good to go that way. What's your plans for this year, Lorna, with spiders? Are you getting any
Buy
more?
more.
We've got to do our mystery box thing. We've got to do that. We've got to figure that out.
Yes, we do. We do. We'll arrange it soon. I mean, I could do it any time. It's just, you know, when you're free to do so.
It's my turn to be the pain now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you decide when, and then we can do it. Yeah, I've had a few losses in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So I want to build it back up, put more into my Instagram and maybe on YouTube. And go to shows. That's what I want to do. I want to go to shows.
Yeah.
If that means that, the only problem is if I do get anything from the shows, it's traveling back for hours in the car.
That'll be all right.
Even staying over, like it's.
Barnsley's
I don't
not
want to be
too
buying a
far from you.
hotel, staying in a hotel and then having the spiders there. You know, which.
Well, Leah, this is what Leah does, and quite a few people, like when they go to BTS, they'll be there the night before, and then drive back after the show. There's quite a few people that sort of have the Airbnbs and things like that. But Barnsley's not. I mean, I know it's a few hours, but Barnsley would still be a good shout for you, and I think you'd really, really enjoy the day.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm more surprised that Andre's actually.
I need to get to shows.
Did you see that, Mark? Andre's actually got an account. Look at that. He hides in the shadows.
Who's that?
Andre.
Oh, Andre's in chat.
No. Kale's just said Andre subscribed. So it's like, yeah.
Well, you got 401 now.
Right,
yeah, that's me, Scott.
Right.
It's all right, Matt. I was just looking at Sharon sent me a text. She's got a little jumping spider for me.
Oh, lovely. Mate, honestly, they're amazing. They're so funny to watch. And the
you'll love them, Mark. Honestly, they're my absolute favourite.
The way you care for your spiders, you'll absolutely love a jumper. Honestly, they're just
nice.
They're delicate, but they're funny. Brilliant. I look forward to that when that comes out on Sunday. Honestly, guys, if you're not following this guy, Tarantula, please go and give him a follow. He's like around 100 subs, I think, and he deserves far more than that. What else we got down here? Let's have a quick look. And you don't have to thank me. Honestly, good content deserves promotion. Matt, do you have any Poecilotheria metallica? I haven't got a metallica. I do have 2 regalis, 2 male regalis. And
Sorry, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. I wasn't the one that sexed it.
I have a Miranda as well. So I had to do that. The thing is, I got gifted my female who wants to identify as a male, regardless.
Don't blame me.
As a thank you a while ago, and I think what happened was when it was sexed, it was so small that its male organ that they have in there, the sexing organ, it looks like a spermithia, but it's a singular piece in the middle, and it can be confused on some of the pokies, but it's it's definitely male. That's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't me that sexed it. It was somebody else.
It's
It didn't physically come from me.
It's all good. It's all good. Well,
how's the OBT doing?
Yeah, it's big. Well, I say big. It's probably 5 centimeters, and it's the only enclosure I've got in this house, even though it is drier than the Sahara in that substrate, that has got mold. It is an absolute pain in the backside.
Oh my God.
My video that I did recently, I had a piece of cocoa fiber that it's that one block seemed to have just produced mold spores. It must have had mold spores in it. I don't know. But everything I've used that cocoa fiber in has had mold in. And the only one that's left that I didn't want to disturb until I rehouse it is the OBT. So at the moment, I'm just sort of spooning out the odd bit of mold when I see it, just because it's not affecting the tea. It's just, I don't like it. So, and I don't want to breathe it in either. So it's a pain. But, what's Phil doing? I give these people moderation rules and look what happens. Chaos breaks loose. Yeah, honestly, like Scott says, most people worry about setting up YouTube channels and editing. It's easy and it's good fun. And this is the only reason I did it. I mean, Scott was the reason I started my YouTube channel, because he was just saying, just get on with it. Stop being such a fanny about doing it. And he was right. I do love the editing process. It's really good fun. It's just, it can be time consuming if you let it. But yes, all good fun. I'm sure I've missed an awful lot of comments because we've been chatting so much. Well,
yeah,
if you heard it earlier, Scott, it almost did, because I had the camera reverb coming in. But yeah, I don't know. We've hit 400, and I set a goal for the end of this year of 500. I don't know. Maybe I was a little bit sort of underestimating on that. But do you know what? I don't mind being a small channel, and I say this because I like to be able to respond to everything. I like to be able to sort of have that little personal connection with people and actually have a conversation back and forth. And I think when you get to sort of like Dave's level or Tom Moran's level, it becomes really difficult to respond. I mean, how many of you got, Mark, now? 1,500?
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult at times to respond to everything?
Sorry?
Do you find it quite difficult at times to respond to everything?
Yeah, I do actually miss some of the comments, and it's only when I go through TubeBuddy looking that I realise there's a comment there that I haven't got back to, because I do like to try and answer everybody's comments if they put comments in.
And I think
that's the least you can do.
I think that's the thing. I think Phil does, you do, Scott. I think most of the people sort of in our circle do try and sort of really try to sort of have that connection and have that response and conversation back and forth. It makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Sort of feeling that you're talking to the people watching your videos. Because I don't look at it that I'm putting the video out and sort of saying, look, I've put this video out for you guys, so watch it and appreciate it. It's more of a case of, I've made this, but if you watch it, thank you so much. And for me, that's why I respond to the comments, because it's like you've taken the time out of your day to sit there and watch something that I've just put together in my room. And, you know, why do I deserve your time, sort of thing. But so as an appreciation, I do like to respond to all the comments, you know, and I think it's important. Like, I've been mulling over doing a live for absolutely forever, and wasn't sure whether I was going to or not, to be honest with you, but I'm glad I have.
Check it in a minute, Susan.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
To be honest, I was never going to do YouTube, and it was only like Peter Webster getting me on some of his videos with him, and then he said, just do it. And to be honest, I didn't think my videos are brilliant. I think they're pretty enough, but I didn't think I'd get 50 subscribers, never mind the amount I'm on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do appreciate every single person that's you know, that watches them. And I do appreciate all the channel members.
Yeah,
Because without people watching them, I wouldn't be nowhere.
But the thing is, I think you say this, and I don't think you're alone in what when you say, when I pick up on the point earlier where you say that you think your videos are rubbish and you're not sure why people watch them. Right? I think most people who make their videos probably have that in their mind all the time. They're like, why are people watching my stuff? But the secret is to make it, as long as you're true to yourself and you do the videos because you want to, and you're making the videos you want to make, the people that want to watch that same type of content will come back and follow you. So it's a case of, if you make things for other people, or you try and be something
Thank you, Susan.
You're not, and you're trying to do it to be something else, you won't have that connection, because people will see through it eventually, and it doesn't sort of sit. Whereas when you're sort of more, this is me, this is what I do, and people can relate to your content, people do tend to follow that. And that's why, you know, people do follow people back, and people sit there and week in, week out will watch.
Thank you, Joe.
You know, and I'd say that, like, people find it's just sitting there feeling like you're watching somebody, but feeling like you know them as well, even before you have met them. And I think that's a bit of a secret to success with some people anyway. Oh, Greg, do stop. They're brilliant. Greg's videos were the ones that I first caught on to before I even saw Tom.
Thank you, Kyle.
Literally just to get information. So stop that chat.
It's called Bronson.
Let's put a dog on big screen. Let's go. How do we get you up on big screen? Let's go on here.
Oh, doggy. Oh, cute.
How old's that one?
He's 9.
9 years old. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Still look like a puppy, though. It's so weird.
Lovely. Is that the only dog you've got?
Yeah.
Bless him.
All right. Okay, get down. Stop. Get down, you madhead.
Right, thanks, Craig.
There we go, see? See, all the people telling you, Greg, just listen. Have a bit more self-belief, buddy. I'm going to be coming and speaking to you at sea, that's for sure. Yeah, and that's a good point. Make sure you smash the like button. There we go.
I'll just be 2 minutes.
No, you're all right. You're fine. Right. We need to figure out what we're going to do. But first, before we do this, right, I'm going to show what we've got up for a bit of a giveaway in a second. So let me just click on here. And no, not these. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Can everyone see the spider on screen?
No.
No, what we got up on screen at the moment. Let's have a look. Hold on. I will be there in a second. There we go. Right. Got a spider up?
Yeah.
Good, good. This is a lovely kind gift of a LP, the Lasiadora Parabana, that we have up for grabs tonight, kindly donated by the wonderful Emma, who has been giving away quite a few spiders over the last few weeks. And all of them have been in absolutely amazing condition. So this is a spider we've got up for grabs. We just need to decide on a hashtag that we're going to use. So what I will say is, when Lorna comes back, we'll let one of you lot choose the hashtag, and then what we'll do is we'll get on with that giveaway. And Steve W's not here, is he? Please tell me Steve W.
Yes.
He's probably heard the word giveaway, and he's now running to his phone.
He probably won't enter and he'll still win.
Tarantula Halla says Tarantula love. Scott said Grandad Rookie.
we know what we can do with that hashtag, can't we, Scotty boy? For those that don't know, even though probably everyone
Welcome back, Wolf.
Basically, this has all started because Connor had his girlfriend staying after Christmas and before New Year, and I have just been receiving shit ever since about that and the fact that I won't be going to any of the shows in Coventry around October time because I'll be helping Connor change nappies. So, yeah, never going to live it down. But that's okay because, to be fair, I probably deserve the abuse because the amount of abuse we give Scott. So fair's fair, eh? Fair's fair. I don't even think he's here. I don't even think Steve W's here. So yeah, but we know that's not true. What spiders are you looking for, though, Alice? While we're waiting,
I'm looking at some more New World, so maybe some dwarf species. I'm after the Trinidad olive, the normal colour form. Pumpkin patch, I've got that on the list. My albiceps, that's like number one. But I think I'm only going to get maybe about 40 teas, and then I'm going to start on some different inverts like mantises and stuff like that.
The issue you've got, though, and you know this is true, is once you dip your toe into Old World, all of a sudden a whole new door opens, and you.
That's why I'm a bit hesitant, because I'm like, no, that's my border. I've got the heart, this amount of ones that I can look after, but longer list than a 5-year-old for Santa. Yeah, it's on the floor and down the street already.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I was like, oh, I don't know about Old Worlds, and I went up to see Andy, who owns and runs So Many Legs. He's got his place is up at Thetford, and I thought it's not too far from me. He used to be a lot closer. He was actually had his place about 10 minutes from me, and then he's moved out of. It used to be in Wickford, and he's moved out of there, and he's moved up to Thetford, and I'm like, oh. But we drove up there to have a look because we went up there to pick up an Avic and a couple of other things. And while we was up there, we were sort of like, I'm in an R-in. And I did end up coming home with a Balfouri straight away. Without even sort of thinking about it. Just literally had this Balfouri. And I hadn't even done any research on anything. And I'll tell you what, it's actually far, far less grief than half of my New Worlds.
Start with a summer pair. Yeah, I've got a sun tiger and a Reduncus. So there, and I've got a Tapinoculus curipes as well. So they're like that was my idea of moving on to a spicier New World before going on to an Old World.
Did you?
But the speeds just put me off.
No, do you know what? My Balfouri, I think is probably slower than my Canberra guy. But that's just a nutter. But did you ever used to watch Bethany's spiders? Like, have you ever seen any of her videos?
Yeah, I've seen a few. Yeah.
Okay, so one of her things was her spiders were always naughty spiders. They always used to run off. They always used to do this. And I'll tell you what, they live up to the name because every single thing that I've had from Bethany out of her collection, every single one of them is an absolute nut job or super fast or wants to run. And I've had a Balfouri off her and 2 Samanis, and they're all a nightmare to deal with. So I don't know
my only one that's even remotely skittish is my Davus pentaloris.
Her Bethany's spiders, where she says they're naughty, they're almost the opposite of the way Dave has his spiders on his videos. Like, Dave's are all calm and Bethany's are all completely psychotic, and it's like there's no in between with either. It's weird. Everyone else sits in the middle. They're like our borders. Right, I'm gonna have to sort of just give in, aren't I? I think I'm gonna have to give in. What do we think? We're going to do the giveaway, Lorna, and everyone seems to want to use this Grandad.Rookie hashtag. So, if I'm doing this correct on this giveaway tool, what I'm going to do is I'll set it up, and I'll set it up with Grandad.Rookie as Scott's written there in all lowercase. All right. So, if you want to enter this for the chance of winning the Lassiodora Parabana from Emma, then start chucking in the hashtags now. We'll have a little chat while they're building up, and then we'll come back to it in a minute once we've got this. We'll give it a good few minutes, probably 10 minutes or so. Hashtags can be incoming. I don't know how long this actually collects for, so maybe we'll end it sooner. Maybe we'll give it till 1:15. We'll give it till 1:15. So if you enter the hashtag Grandad.Rookie, all lowercase, then what we'll do is we can have that LP giveaway at 1:15. About the spider. Susan's relentless. She says she wants to live the single life for the rest of her life, and then all she does is talk like that. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, we'll go till 1:15. I think that gives enough time to get all these in anyway. We can have a little bit of a chat. Mark, what's your plans? What are you looking at for the collection for this year?
I'd like another Robustum for definite.
Yeah.
That's definite on my list.
This is for UK only rules. What I will say, anyone can enter. So Tarantula, if you want to enter, even though you're in Poland, you can enter. But what basically it'd be for UK people, are the only ones who can win it. So if you want to enter and then donate it to one of the UK guys, you're more than welcome. All right. Sorry, Mark.
Just anything that takes me fancy, really.
Have you got a new skeleton leg?
Not yet.
Right. Okay.
That's on my list.
Yeah. They do look nice. I've not had one yet. I've not had one yet.
I like the burrows that they make, but it's not just a hole, it's a webbed hole instead.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be looking for some Panthers that I ain't got.
Yep. Yep. I will say I'm going into this is for Kitty more than anyone else, but I'm going into Bug Hut tomorrow. So I'll have a chat and make sure that the Utaman is still sort of sitting there and being looked after. So I'll give you a message once I know.
Okay.
It's all right. It doesn't matter if you win, you can then you'll be able to donate it to whoever you want to. It goes on every single channel. I wouldn't worry about that. You feel like you want to enter, you're fine. Yeah, for me, I think first show coming up sees if I see a Scorpio Maurus, that's what I want. And I'm going to go and speak to Tim, and I'm sure he'll convince me to look at the giant hairy as well, because he's already messaged me about that. I just fancy like a drier type of scorpion to go along with the ones I've got. It's just the temperatures of them that do me a little bit, because I know they like it a little bit warmer. So I'm sure Greg will correct me on that, but I think scorpions, because they prefer it a little bit warmer, it's the only thing that sort of put me off a little bit. But we're also looking at maybe a snail. Just something.
What sort of snail?
Giant land snail.
Oh, which one?
You
Probably.
love them, don't you, Deacon?
Is it the one?
Oh no, Steve's in chat.
Oh God, here he comes! Quick, close it.
No.
Close it. Look, he's shown up
Steve,
1
you're
minute.
banned.
1 minute before. 1 minute before. Look, he's been sitting there, hasn't he? 1 minute before.
He's banned. Ban him.
Steve.
Quick, draw it now before he enters.
Do you know what the hashtag is, Steve? His timing is impeccable, isn't it? That's ridiculous. How's he shown up at this time?
Psychic.
Exactly, Ian. Ban him.
Everyone loves. He was out picking up a Viv. Steve, I'm going to have a nightmare, because you know the Viv I've sort of got for you here that I picked up. Bringing it down to C's, I've got Connor, Kath, and Caitlin in the car, so it's going to be an interesting journey. But we will be bringing it down. Don't worry.
Oh, he's entered. Good.
Right.
He's found out the hashtag. Yep.
Right. It's 1:15. So what I'm going to do, we've got 24 entries. 24 entries. How many people we got in chat? 45. No one else want to win? Look at entering. Anyone not entered it yet? Did you enter, Lorna?
I've already got 4.
You can put an entry
I
in
don't
for
want
me.
any more LPs. I don't want any more LPs.
Mine's only little, about this big.
Oh, they grow like weeds, though, don't they? They grow like weeds.
I've got mature male, female, and 1 juvie and 1 sling.
Right.
No more for me.
See, I'm not gonna enter this because I've got my LP, I've got the Stratipes, and I've got the Kluge, and I'll tell you, they all grow, and I've got 3 Agens that are all growing stupidly fast as well. So I'll just run out of room. But right, okay, let's have a look at this. I'm going to do the draw. So what I'll do is I will go to draw. What I'm going to do is I'll share the screen while this thing's running. And we have our winner.
Yay!
Congratulations, Tom.
Yeah. Tarantula Tom, well done. Well done. Right, so Emma's still in chat, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Tarantula Tom, if you want to, if you can get in you can either get in contact with me, or if you know Emma, you can get in contact with Emma directly. But if you want to message me on Instagram or whatever, then I can put you in contact with Emma, or however you want to do it. All right. But well done, Tom. Right, let's stop sharing that, shall we? Cool. That's good. So that's for the LP. That's all gone. It's probably worth mentioning that we have, if people aren't sure, that we've got this coming up. 3, 2. Let's have a look. 3, 2. So we've got the Southeast Arachnid Show, 29th of January. Coming up. Postcode for anyone who needs it at the Ashford International Hotel. A lot of us are going to be down there. So if you're going down there, come and say hello. Most of the people who do the YouTube stuff have got stickers and things like that. Bring their arm for those. Either that or just come and say hello, have a chat, talk spiders. And then also we have, after that, we have the other event coming up at the beginning of February, which is, let me just change this over a second. Have the Great Ant Exhibition in Sheffield. Postcode at the top of the flyer for anyone who needs it. S1 2JB. 11th of February. Tickets £5, under 13's free. If you can go and support this event, if you're in the area, then it'd be awesome, because Thomas, who runs Ant on a Rock, is really awesome. He was on one of the lives the other day, one on Phil's channel, and it was really good. And the stuff he's producing, if you go and look at any of the videos that are coming out about the boxes he's been sending out, they're absolutely amazing. So it looks like that will be a good event. And it's not just ants that are going to be up there. It's there's going to be sort of other sellers and things like that, other inverts all on sale up there as well. So it looks like that's going to be a good event up in Sheffield on the 11th of Feb. So we've got those two coming up in the near future anyway. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So yeah, where did we say? There we go. Emma's always on her phone. Always on her phone. Matt owes Annabelle a spider. Yes, I do. I haven't forgotten. We'll sort out something appropriately small for Annabelle. Do not worry. I do all these things. I completely forget about everything, and then I get reminded last minute about everything.
Hi, James.
Yes. So the other thing I will say is I'm not sure if I don't manage to find anyone tonight who is going or in around Sheffield and thinking I'm not sure about going to the Ant Expo, but would like 2 tickets. I do have 2 tickets that were I won on a live, but unfortunately I can't go. And the person I donated them to, with his son, they can't go. I recently found out, so I now have 2 tickets available. So if anyone is in the area and would like those, put something in the comments now, because if I don't get an answer in the next 10 minutes or so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them to Steve W, and he's going to give them away to someone lucky at the door, so they haven't got to pay their entrance fee. What? What are you saying, Sharon? Ah, yes, you're going. I thought you was working there. But yes, if you want the tickets, that's fine. You can have the tickets, Sharon. That's fine. Okay, they're gone. I thought she was going anyway. I thought she was working on Leah's stall, wasn't she, at the show? Is that right?
I don't know. Not bad.
Right. So you said Alice, you said you was going to look at getting some other inverts.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at moving into?
I like mantises. They look quite funky. I like the little faces on that. They look quite, and the way that they eat and stuff, they're quite cool. I was looking at maybe a scorpion. It depends on heating and stuff like that. Millipedes, I've been looking into them, and maybe even just isopods and stuff.
Once you get into the isopod thing, I mean, I didn't get it, and Phil will laugh at this, but I didn't get the isopod thing. And then I was given 3 colonies, and all of a sudden it just opens up a massive. You think the tarantulas are bad? It just opens up a whole new world.
I've already started looking at like leaf insects, stick insects. There's so many different unique animals, and it's just like I want them all, but I don't have room.
Have you still got your mantises, Lorna?
No, my last one, my marble passed away, old age. They just don't live long enough, do they? They're amazing, but they just don't live long enough.
I think with the mantises, I think for me, unless you're breeding them, it becomes really like hard keeping them just as pets because of their longevity. Having the breeding project going and seeing them constantly going through the ooths and growing up from nymphs and stuff is probably the way to go with mantises in my brain anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be purchasing beetles and more millipedes.
Hi, Annie.
Love
I'll check it out once the stream's done, Tom, because at the moment the phone's being used for Carapoensis cam. That spider that's down the bottom corner was really, really active and moving about all over the place before I went live, and it's now stopped. I have no idea why it's decided to stop moving, but it has. Camera shy, I think. It's hiding behind its plant. But yeah. Okay, no worries, Sharon. You can have them. I'll talk to you about message me on Messenger so I don't forget, and I'll send over the tickets to you. You can have them, not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, I've got I lost my Herodula majuscula, the giant forest one or giant rainforest one, and that was recently, and it was weird. It sort of hit me a bit harder than I thought it would. And I think the reason was, I don't know how many people saw the video, but it was quite hard to make because for the last probably month of its life, I was having to literally make like mealworm mulch and feed it on my hand. Like its legs couldn't support it. It couldn't support its own weight. Its eyes, they start off with these little tiny pins in there where their eyes are. And as it was just getting older, they were bleeding out to like black, almost like goggles. And seeing it not be able to support itself, but it was still eating. And it was just, as soon as I put food right in its mouth, it was eating, but it had to stay on my hand while it was eating. And unfortunately, that was becoming like half an hour, 40 minutes, almost an hour while it was eating. And it was really hard to see. So to have that pass away after sort of putting the amount of time and effort with it, it was really sad. It was like, it sort of got me a bit more than I thought it would, to be honest. And then I lost my tiny little ghost mantis. No idea why. I think it was a bad molt. It had a bad mandible and bad leg and wouldn't eat. But then I was gifted a lovely one from Mark and Victoria down at Brighton Show. And that one has molted and a couple of times now and is, yeah, looking okay. Looking okay at the moment. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Thanks, Wolfie. Yeah, it was quite tough to edit that one because I was going through all the footage. I don't mind admitting, I'm man enough to admit I had tears in my eyes actually while I was editing that video. It was a tough one to do, but I still needed to put the video out there. I think it was a good thing to do, to be honest.
It's the sucky part about having any pet, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They never tell you about what it's like when they pass away or whatever, when you get a dog or a puppy or a hamster or just anything. And, you know, we can get attached to absolutely anything, can't we, as humans and that. So.
Yeah, we've rescued dogs for many years, and we've always had dogs. And we've had recently our old boy, Alfie, unfortunately, was put to sleep. He had a growth on his leg, which just it eventually erupted, and it was awful. We couldn't have him operated on because of his age, and also the fact that we'd had a dog previous that had a lump in exactly the same place, and when they did operate and they took all the tissue away, the wound never healed properly because there wasn't enough skin, and it was like we had that in our mind all the time as well. Like if we have this operated, we're going to go through the same thing with infections in the leg and stuff. But yeah, it was really hard to sort of like go through that process. It was a rather wet veterinary driveway with me and my missus up there on the day. But yeah, it's you do. I think if you care for animals, it doesn't matter how long you have them. I think it's always hard to sort of say goodbye to them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I know that it happens. You do lose spiders. The more you have of these things, like with dogs, people tend to have one or two. So the regularity of you losing a pet is very infrequent. Whereas when it comes to the spiders and inverts, obviously you're losing them a lot more regularly, aren't you? So, you know, you've got slings, they pass, this, that, and the other. And I know Lorna's had quite a few, and we've had a lot of conversations quite late at night where I'm sure there's been sort of like quite a bit of upset as we've been chatting away about it all. And it's hard to deal with sometimes. I think if you've got a lot of empathy as a human being, I think it doesn't matter even if you don't want to get attached to them, you will do if you're caring for something. Doesn't matter what you care for. It's like plants or everything. You know, you see a plant die.
Hi, Debbie.
It annoys you because you've lost the plant. But with live, you know, animals and stuff like that, it's
frustrating. I think I spend most of my time wondering what I could have done differently. So then I end up down that rabbit hole on YouTube or on Google, like, you know, what have I done, you know, that could contribute to this happening? And it's just the same answer. Sometimes it just happens. And I sometimes find that hard to deal with, that, you know, I could have done something different. And that it always puts me off buying more. But yeah, it is difficult.
Yeah, it is. And I think, but like I say, I do believe it's like whilst people always say to you, it happens. I don't mean this to sound sort of like horrible to anyone who's ever said to me, you know, it happens, you know, but it's a case of, it doesn't matter if it happens. It's not going to change the fact that I feel absolutely sucky about it at the time. And I think any owner that cares for anything, and I think if you didn't go through the process of actually saying, was it me? What did I do? Anything? You don't have that question sheet of like, did I, you know, should I do this? Should I have done this different? Should I have done it? If you don't go through that process, there's something wrong with you, because it's almost like it's always a good thing in a way to have that process, because at least then you're sort of clearing the sheet of like any wrongdoing on your part, as long as there wasn't any, and it gets you through it. It's like it's almost like an accepted part of the grief process, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh no, Greg, that sucks, mate. That sucks. Yeah, it's never nice, is it? Never nice. Oh, and there, Scott, I'm so sorry, dude. Honestly, this was another one which was half out of a molt as well. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Scott.
I think the worst part is though when people are like, "Oh, you're upset over a bug or a spider," and it's like, "Well, yeah, but they're my pets. They're part of my family, or what? You know, well, to me they are."
I was so upset when Nora, my jumping spider, passed away that nobody else got it. They were like, "It's just a spider. How can you feel like that?" But I was so attached to her, and nobody understood why. Nobody understood why. And it's so frustrating because they know that I've got tarantulas, they know that I've got jumpers and all these animals, and they just don't get it. They completely think I'm weird. They will not talk about it, and I'm quite happy they don't come to my house, to be honest. But they just don't get it, and it's so frustrating because they might be just a little spider to you and horrible to you, but I love them and I took care of them, and people just don't understand that.
With your connection with them and stuff like that, yeah.
Mark, just to answer your question, mate, yes, the mic is off on that one and it's muted on StreamYard. I'm not sure where that's coming from, mate. It hasn't just been since that, it's been before it as well, but it has been all night. I'm not sure where the feedback's coming from, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Learning from the mistakes on one saves the lives of the rest. Hopefully. And that's the thing. As long as you do learn from anything that maybe you've done wrong, or maybe even if you haven't or don't think you've done wrong, as long as you actually do more research and maybe you subconsciously do something slightly different, it's always a good thing. As learning from the process is always a good thing.
It's always horrible losing any animal.
Yeah, you've had a bad run as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've lost about 7 or 8 in the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
I'm glad I did get my sturmy done now when I lost her.
Yeah. And for anyone who does sort of have like a loss, it's definitely worth having a look. If you've got a spider that you sort of are attached to that much and you want to get it taxidermied, there are some amazing people out there. Mark's one of his sturmy is really, really good. And I'm really pleased with the work I had done on my dictator that had the DKS as well. It's a lovely frame that one's in. So,
Do you preserve any of your molts and that then, or do you have a tub that they all live in?
I've got 8 tubs.
8?
8 tubs, yeah.
My collection's absolutely. Look, this is my molt tub, the skin bin.
Oh no,
it's all the only ones that I've got.
I'm.
Mine all good to Leah.
Let me just try something a second. Yeah, no, mine have all got. All my molts are on a.
No ant ramblings. I've not got any other animals on my snakes, scorpions, and spiders.
If I stop playing with them, I can feel myself starting to itch already.
No, all my molts, Alice, are on a paper with a date that they molted and whether they were sexed or not.
Oh. See, I've attempted to sex a couple of mine, but I'm not. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I think I've seen a flap on one of my age ends, but that's about it.
Thanks, Joanne. Yes, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to my molts.
Yeah, I've had a go at them, but
They will end up. I mean, they're only cricket tubs, but I tend to have like about 4 layers in one of these. I'll have like 4 or 5 layers, and then they'll all have a date next to them. And then they're all when the feet, the little claws that you see on the end of their feet, they get stuck on this tissue paper, so they don't move. So then once they're in there, they stay where they are.
does so want the little claws as well?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a look.
I don't know if that's me sturmy. The dead set done.
Yeah, I'll put you on big screen, Mark.
So they done a brilliant job on it. Really pleased.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, Mark. Laura's really good.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I do like messing with the mults. I do like messing with the mults. So I find it fascinating. Luckily, I don't have that. What's it called? Tryptophobia? Is it
With the
tryptophobia?
holes and that, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
I know someone who has a lot of spiders, and they have that, and they can't look at the molts. As soon as it's molted, they can't look at the molt. They have to get someone else to get the molts out because it drives them insane.
I thought it was fascinating with the little sucking stomachs and that you can see on them and that.
Yeah, you've got no weird phobias about anything like that, have you, Lorna?
Yeah, I don't like holes. I don't. When I was younger, my dad is really into fishing. So I'm flicking through one of his aquarium books, and I see this frog. It's got holes in its back, and the baby frogs come out, and it freaked me out. And that was it. Like, I just can't. And I was scrolling on TikTok a few weeks ago, and I'm just scrolling through, minding my own business, and then up pops this video of this frog giving birth out of its back and all these holes. Oh, sent it all off again. The trauma is real. Horrific.
I do apologise for my super close-ups then of my molts.
But I don't like open water.
All right, okay.
Take care, Debbie.
At all.
Look after yourself.
See, I've actually been to Egypt and spent a week doing night dives in Egypt. So you go out there and you've got your flashlight, and because you've got the flashlight literally because you need to see where the coral is, as soon as you turn a light on in that pitch black dark of the water, you can't see anything else apart from that torch beam. And you know there's coral to one side of you, and to the other side of you is just the open ocean. And it's like it's like midnight. It's quite a good experience.
It freaks me out. I couldn't.
I think it's not the fear of the water as such, it's the fear of the unknown of what could be there that I can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's loads of things watching you at night. They're all watching you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm notorious for that. I remember once we were out there and we was out just on the beach, and I'd found this like little reef that you could walk out to, and I took Connor and Kath and I said, "Oh, come and have a look at this anemone. There's like see the anemone fish and stuff like that." And as I'm walking them out there, I wasn't looking where we were going. And when I sort of turned around, I said, "Right, don't move, because we've now got like a load of lionfish all around us. So I'm going to have to direct you back round another way." We said, "Yeah, I don't really sort of focus too much, but it's good fun. Diving is good fun if you ever get a chance."
I've stood on a sea urchin before. That was very fun.
Ouch.
Yep. That was in Turkey.
He's still going to be stuck.
Wow. Open water or confined spaces. That covers both ends of the spectrum, doesn't it, Scott?
I have a fear of the dark, so I took up caving. Yeah, I suppose it's same as me and spiders and that. Afraid of height.
So you won't want to go climbing with me then, Joanne? Yeah, I don't know. It's
Thank you.
I think the only fear I've got is death, which is weird.
I better go and get him, hadn't I? Otherwise, he's going to be stuck there, isn't he?
I did when I was in Mexico. I did some cave diving through the cenotes, which are like the parts where the salt water is, and it's all the caves where the salt water and the fresh water meet and all this stuff underground. And we were doing some diving through there, and there's no life down there. There's no animals or anything that you can see. But you can feel the weight belt sort of scratching on the bottom, and then the tank scratching on the top as you're going through these tiny little cave holes. And you're thinking, I hope there's an opening at the end of this for me to turn around and go back. So that was a fun experience.
Oh God, no! I could think of better things to do.
Yeah, I'd end up dying under the water. No one would be getting through because it'd be just me in the way.
Yeah.
Phil,
Matt,
what's up?
hey, what time are you going to be on till?
I'm not sure yet, mate. What's
Right,
up?
because I've got a new pal. I've got to go and pick my son up from work. His car's broke down.
Oh, no worries, mate. That's fine.
I'm going to leave my camera and mic on. And then if you're still on when I come back, I'll jump straight back on.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No, it's cool.
All right, then.
I appreciate you being here anyway.
No problem. All right, I'll speak to you in a bit then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Cheers, mate.
Right. Take care,
See
everyone.
you later.
Bye.
Close water diving. Never done open water, but I'd love to. Yeah. It's diving's amazing. The weird thing about diving is when you get the buoyancy correct on your jacket, like your BCD, and you get it so that you are literally just not moving up or down. You feel just it's like what an astronaut must feel like in space, you know, just weightless. Very, very strange. And it's very, very cool.
I'm debating on whether to go diving when we go on holiday this year.
I would give, if you've got the opportunity to, it's well worth it. I remember
Zanti with the turtles.
Yeah. I've been out with turtles. I've whale shark, like they're the size of like double-decker bus almost lengthwise.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Manatees, rays. The only people I don't like, and I've said this before, is tuna. They're dicks. Tuna are just dicks. They just don't care about you. They just literally got head straight at you, straight into you. They don't care. Everything else is a little bit more forgiving. I've actually been out with we were out in breeding season out in Nama Bay, like Egypt, around the Red Sea, and we went up to a place called Island, which is sort of in the middle. You sort of get a boat out to it, and we had all the sharks out there, sort of breeding at the time. That was quite cool.
Yeah, I don't really like sharks. I don't mind them, but I'd rather not be in the sea with them.
Good night, Paul.
I just panic too much and they'd want to eat me.
Good night. Good night, Ian. Night, Mark. Yeah, Trancha Haller's link. Always good. Good content there. Hello, Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Yeah, it's always. I'd always say to people, if you get the opportunity to do diving, it's always a good. It's just for the experience, you know.
Yeah, we're just debating on whether we should do the 4-day trip or just a couple of days.
Right. Okay.
So whether we'll have to do the training inside the pool or not
Right.
to go and do it, but
I remember I go for a good length of time between whenever I've been away, and it's always like I have to go and do the show that I can take my mask off and put the regulators back in and show that I can breathe and do all the signs every time I go. It's a pain in the backside, but better to be safe than sorry.
I've
Yeah.
seen too many horror stories about diving and people and sharks and stuff.
Well, I've run out of air at 30 meters.
Oh, it's been my worst nightmare trying to swim.
That's why I don't dive.
But you can't. That's the thing. You can't swim to the top because you need to have your you're coming up in stages because of the
pressure,
blood. Yeah, it's I had a leaky valve on one of my tanks, and basically all the air was coming out. I didn't really notice, but I had to buddy breathe like for probably 15 minutes with other people on the diving with the dive. We had about 6 of us out there, and I was just buddy breathing the whole time. It was entertaining, but nothing you can do about it. So it's pointless panicking about it.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you're there, aren't you?
Yeah. And you have to do your safety stops. You're down like sitting there at 5 meters for minutes and minutes and minutes, waiting for everything to sort of equalize and stuff, and then you can come out. But yeah, it was about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe.
I'm just worried about doing it and then flying because obviously you can't fly within so many. Is it a couple of days or something?
Yeah. Normally, I mean, if you needed to, 24 hours, but normally the longer the better.
Yeah, do it first week that we're there.
I'm not built for buoyancy. That's brilliant. Have you ever done that, Laura? You ever been diving? Snorkeling?
Nope. Nope.
You just won't go in the open water at all?
Nope.
Oh, it's amazing.
Nope, it's not something I've ever wanted to do. It's something I'll never see myself doing. It's just, I do not like open water at all. And I just panic.
I've done snorkeling in Greece.
We used to, when we lived in Germany, we used to get the ferry from Zeebrugge to Hull, and it was a 14-hour journey if we weren't driving. And it was just horrific. I hated every minute of it. I couldn't sleep all night. I was just panicking, and I smoke as well, so I wouldn't go out for a cigarette because it's pitch black and I can't see anything. It absolutely terrifies me. So no, it not on my agenda. Never will be. I don't think. Yeah,
it's a weird thing. I'm glad I've got it. I've still got all my diving gear in here, but my wetsuit won't fit me properly now because I was 38 kilos heavier when I was diving, so that's a little bit too large for me now. So I probably should sell it.
I'd rather jump out of a plane than go diving.
Well, yeah, I suppose the thing is though with diving, you're not going to hit the bottom. Not at any speed anyway. That's the only thing. But yeah, we used to freak out the swimmers. Like over in the Red Sea, a lot of the hotels have like pontoons coming out, like piers almost off the back of the hotels to the water, so the swimmers can go because there's no real beach at Narma, and they'd all be swimming around the top, and we'd be like 20 meters below them. And so we'd get our buddy regulator, our spare octopus, and we'd be like getting the bubbles, and they'd be like swimming around like all these bubbles coming up. I'm thinking, what the hell's that? To freak them out. It's good fun. Good fun. What do you mean not built for buoyancy though? Anyway, large guy. Yeah, that does affect you badly if you get that. It's not good. Nitrogen in your blood. It's not good. Oh, yeah.
We used to drive most of the time and then jump on a ferry at Calais. But then we started going from Zeebrugge to Hull. The drive was amazing. Where in Germany did you live?
Ems was served. So she's been all over. She was in the forces. That's what Ryan was doing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So is Germany the only place you've been out to, or?
Yeah, well, he signed off. Had he stayed in, we would have been going to Cyprus that year, but he signed off, and then we just, ended up staying up here. Although Cyprus would have been nice.
How long has he been out for?
6 years.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long ago it was with Emma, to be honest. But she's been to a few places as well. I know that.
Oh, we love Germany. I love Germany. It was probably the best time of our lives out there.
Stuttgart's the only place I've been to. Stuttgart. I was out there for a couple of months. But yeah, it's the only place I've ever been in Germany. Nice place.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I'd go back in a heartbeat if I could.
Anyone have any advice on night terrors? Not me. Not me. No.
I was going to say I don't deal with that sort of stuff. I know that they say that what you dream about reflects about your day. Maybe I know that my other half has nightmares if he watched ghost stories before bed. But
is that for you, Amy, or is that for Mac or someone else? Or
could be a number of reasons for night terrors.
I'm sure you'd have read something about it. You do a lot of reading. Oh, there you go. Where is that coming from? Not sure where that feedback's going from. It's me. Oh, right, okay. It's for Mac. Yeah, Susan, I don't think it's going to be an option for him staying awake.
How old is he?
It's amazing, isn't it, really? Oh. Yeah, bet it can be. I'll be quite stressful if it's for Mac. You working tomorrow, Lorna?
I am. 12 hours.
What time starting?
8. Well, it's 6:45. I have handover at.
Oh, right, okay. So do you do your 12-hour shift normally as a normal day?
Yeah.
Same as me then.
All day. And I've got a whole long list of jobs to do.
Yeah, this is the thing with Mac, because he's got autism. Amy has her hands full with him at times. So yeah, I can imagine that's quite stressful with the night terrors.
I would take him to CBT as well. That's what I would suggest to do. From a psychologist's point of view. There's always underlying issues.
Jesus. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you,
I was in Paderborn as well.
it's like you two need to get a chat room of your own. I think. Look at you, having a little back and forth. Yeah, I think probably what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end the stream at 10 o'clock anyway. So if anyone's got any questions for relatively new keepers or anything like that, Emma, I will say one thing though. This bloody spider was moving around all evening. I've set this camera up for it just so we can have it on display, and it's just sat there.
It's got pretty legs though.
Oh, it's an absolutely beautiful spider. Absolutely.
Yeah. That one of them's on my list as well.
This is the one I got. Well, that's not the one, but it's the species where I got my big TikTok, and I've got that one. I won that one from Emma the other week, and got my male. I just love them. I think they're amazing. Like,
Nandoos have got to be some of my favourite species. They're a little bit. It's a bit more to them than like my curly hairs. Just sit.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more. Yeah.
I've been waiting for you. Actually, I know it. Let's have a look at this. He's the one person I've actually been waiting to put on as a mod. Because I've been trying to add people as I'm going through the evening. Because the adding of moderators you can do for channels, but if they haven't got a channel, they've only got an account, you have to do it while the stream's running. And when you turned up, I just completely forgot. What can I say?
They call me king of the mods.
Yeah, if you see me at a show, definitely ask for a sticker. I've got a lot. I say a lot. They'll probably go quite quick, I think, because most people will get more than one anyway, won't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a few stickers the other day.
So, logo. We'll see how it goes. But yes, do come and say hello at C's, and make sure that Sharon messaged me on Messenger about the tickets for the Ant Expo, and I will reply to Tom about the spider that he won tonight. So well done for that. Yeah. So is there anyone else got any other questions or anything else they want to ask either of these two Herberts or me? As if not, what I would like to say is I really do appreciate you two coming on, and Mark, obviously, but I'll tell him later when he returns. It's been really nice having you on tonight, and it's a good chat.
My first ever live.
It was, yes, it is, isn't it? Your first one. So now your nerves will all be settled, so that when we come and do our giveaway swap or our mystery box swap, we can actually do it on one of these sessions. See, we can sit here and open the box.
I just never really know what to say.
Yeah, I messaged Matt on Facebook. I was like, listen, I'm really anxious about this. Like, why am I so nervous? He's like, it's fine, I'll lead it. And I'm like, oh, good, because I don't know what I want to bloody say.
It's fine. I messaged him probably about 5-10 minutes after you, and I got the same response. So
I'm glad it's not just me.
I did say, no. I think I said to Alice, I said, it's okay, I've just had another one of these conversations. It's all fine. Jackson, I can sort you out, no problem, matey. Yeah, we'll sort something out.
We should all get our stickers together and we'll send him a package to all of us.
I've just realised too that this is a really subtle one. Any baked goods that you want for the weekend. This is Connor's girlfriend, and she comes up. She's brilliant, right? She comes up and she bakes us brownies, cupcakes, all sorts of stuff, and she's an amazing cook. So yeah, I'll put my order in. Right. Okay, guys. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it now anyway. Oh, sorry, Ellie. I'm so sorry, but we are going to be ending the live in a minute. Yes, I think that's a good idea, Phil, actually. I think what we'll do is we'll get to the shows, we'll get a big pack of all the channel stickers, and then we'll send it all over in one bundle for you, dude. Because then you can have the lot together and we don't have to worry. How do you think about that? I think that's a good idea, Phil. Jackson, send us a message. We'll get your address and stuff, and then what we'll do is we'll sort that over, yeah? We'll do that. We'll do it that way. Thanks, Kitty. And I will say thanks to you two lovely people on live.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on. And what we'll do, guys, is we will say goodnight, everyone, and we'll catch you, I think, what have we got tomorrow? I think Jackie's going live tomorrow, and then Friday you've got Annie, and then back with Mark on Saturday. So have a good evening, guys, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
Good night.